The quiet room where time learned to breathe. There are places in the world where noise finally gives up, not because it is forced to leave, but because it realizes it is no longer needed. The massage spa stood quietly at the end of a softly lit corridor, separated from the rush of the city by more than just walls. Outside, life demanded speed. Appointments, expectations, disappointments, unfinished conversations, and dreams postponed. Inside, time slowed its pace, as if it had been invited to sit down and rest. The room breathed gently. Warm light settled into the corners like a patient companion. The air carried a subtle scent of eucalyptus and lavender, not loud, not demanding, just enough to remind the body that it was safe here. Candles flickered with no urgency. Soft instrumental music moved like a slow river, guiding thoughts downstream. This was not just a spa. It was a pause. Her arrival. She arrived carrying more than her handbag. Years lived fully, responsibilities embraced without complaint, sacrifices made quietly. These things don't always show on the outside, but the body remembers. Her shoulders held stories of resilience. Her back carried the weight of showing up every day, even when she was tired. Her hands, strong and capable, had given more than they had received. She was a woman in her early 50s, elegant in a way that had nothing to do with trends. Her beauty was not loud. It was grounded, confident, earned. As she lay down on the massage table, wrapped in crisp white linens, she exhaled. Not just air, but years of holding it all together. For the first time in a long while, she didn't need to be strong. The therapist. The man who entered the room moved with intention, not urgency. He was in his early 30s, fit, disciplined, present. His red singlet contrasted gently with the neutral tones of the spa, a quiet reminder of strength balanced by control. His posture reflected training, but his expression reflected something deeper: respect. He did not rush. Before his hands ever touched, he paused, because healing begins with presence. He understood that a massage was not just about muscles, it was about trust, about listening to the body without judgment, about offering support without trying to fix everything at once. In that moment, he wasn't just a therapist, he was a guide through stillness. The first touch. The first contact was gentle, intentional, not to impress, not to overwhelm, but to reassure. As warm oil met skin, the room seemed to grow quieter. His hands moved slowly, deliberately, as though following a rhythm older than both of them. Each movement said the same thing without words. You can let go now. Her breathing softened, her jaw unclenched. The tight space between her shoulders, where stress often hides, began to loosen. Not all at once. Healing never rushes. What the body remembers. The body remembers things the mind forgets. It remembers every time she chose others over herself, every time she said, "I'm fine," when she wasn't, every night she slept lightly, listening to the needs of the world. As the massage continued, memories rose, not sharply, but gently, like bubbles in warm water. Moments of laughter, moments of grief, moments of strength she never gave herself credit for. Tears formed quietly at the corners of her eyes, not from sadness, but from relief, because someone was finally listening without asking her to explain. The power of stillness. Stillness is not empty, it is full of answers. In the quiet room, there was no pressure to perform, to achieve, to become something else. There was only permission to be exactly as she was. The therapist worked with steady focus, his movements slow and grounded. He adjusted his pressure with awareness, responding to the subtle signals of her body. This was a conversation without words. Trust flowed naturally, the kind that doesn't need to be earned. It's offered. A room that heals. Around them, the room did its part. The candles flickered steadily, the plants stood silently, rooted and alive. The towels were warm, the air was clean. Everything had been designed for one purpose: comfort. Not luxury for show, but luxury for the soul. Here, nothing asked for attention, everything invited calm. Letting go. As minutes stretched into something timeless, her thoughts slowed. The noise in her mind softened, the weight in her chest eased. Her body remembered what it felt like to rest without guilt. She wasn't planning tomorrow, she wasn't replaying yesterday. She was here, and that was enough. Strength meets compassion. The therapist's strength was evident, but his compassion what mattered most. Strength without compassion overwhelms. Compassion without strength fails to support. Here, both existed together. He worked not to change her, but to support her return to herself. The unspoken understanding. Some healing happens without conversation. Some understanding doesn't need explanation. In that quiet room, two lives briefly intersected. Not in drama, not in intensity, but in purpose. One to receive, one to give, both to be present. The end that is really a beginning. When the massage slowly came to an end, there was no abruptness, just a gentle return. She remained still for a moment, honoring the calm that had settled within her. When she finally sat up, she felt lighter, not because life had changed, but because she had remembered something important. She mattered too, carrying the calm forward. As she stepped back into the world, the city hadn't changed, but she had. Her shoulders sat differently, her breath came easier, her steps were unhurried. The calm followed her not as an escape, but as a reminder that rest is not weakness, that care is not selfish, that even the strongest hearts need moments of softness. The quiet room remains. The room returned to stillness, waiting patiently for the next person who would arrive carrying more than they realized, because that is what it was built for. Not just massage, but release, renewal, presence. A quiet room where time learns to breathe, and so do we.